This week, I'm going to show you how I use Photopills for sunrises, sunsets, and astrophotography. Photopills is a really powerful tool to help you when you're shooting landscapes or astrophotography. It even helps when you're doing a locational portrait shoot. It'll let you know where the sun, the moon, and the Milky Way are going to be at any time at any location. So it's a vital tool that I use every single time I'm planning a photo shoot or a shot outside. And it makes things so much easier. I'm not sponsored by Photopills. It is a paid app. I bought it myself and I use it all the time. There is another app called the Photographer's Ephemeris. This does a very similar thing. So you do have a few choices. The app actually has loads of functions in it. I don't use all of them, but these are the main ones I do use. If you click on the Sun tab, you can see it has all kinds of data from astronomical twilight through to the evening blue hour and back into nighttime. Also, it shows you when the moon rises and sets. If you click on the AR tag at the bottom, this will show you where the sunrise and sunset will be on the horizon. This is really good when doing location scouting. I'll open the app up and go into this AR function to see where the sun will rise and the sun will set. There'll be no more guessing and you'll be able to line things up perfectly. The next one I use is the Moon tab. This is like the Sun tab, but in reverse. It also shows the moon's phase, when the next new moon or full moon will be, and when the galactic center will be in the sky, and what location and what orientation. Another useful part is the graph along the bottom. It shows the sun and the moon rising and setting and how they overlap. You can work out when the moon will set, giving you more visible stars and possibly a sighting of the Milky Way. Again, like the Sun tab, the Moon tab has the AR function, so you can work out where the moon will rise and set. The third tab I use is the Night AR function. This is augmented reality. If you click on it, it'll use the camera on your phone and then overlap this with where the Milky Way and the moon are going to be. If you push your finger left or right on the screen, you can fast forward or rewind time. So if you're scouting a location, you can hold this up and work out where the Milky Way is going to be, how it's going to appear, and what orientation it'll be in the sky at any given time. The only thing I found with this is once you're up and you have a really nice night sky, I tend to just carry on shooting until it's all gone. I'll get carried away and you'll be surprised at how quickly hours will fly by when you're shooting night skies, especially with the longer exposures. As well as dragging your finger from left to right to change the time, you can click on settings and not only change the time, but the location. And this can be a really great time saver. So here we have a north-south running road, and I know the Milky Way will be in the sky to the south at 11:50 p.m, which will line up perfectly with the road. There are lots of other tabs. I don't use them all, but there are a couple that are worth mentioning. If you use a strong ND filter, the exposure tab is worth using. From this, you can calculate your exposure time. All you have to do is type in your current exposure time without the ND, and then it'll give you the new time for the type of ND that you're using. The time-lapse tab is also really good. If you're shooting a time-lapse, this will let you know how long you'll have to wait and how many images you'll get. The Spot Stars tab is also interesting. This gives you the time you can leave your shutter open for without getting any streaking stars. It has the classic rule and the new rule taking into account the megapixels of your camera. I'm guessing this is when you're a pixel peeper or you want to blow your image up to a huge print. If you're just releasing your images online, the classic rule will be fine. And that's about it. Photopills is a really great app to use when you're shooting the stars, sunrises or sunsets. No more guessing where they're going to be, no more wondering what that cloud is in your shot, whether it's the Milky Way or not. It'll also show you where the Milky Way is going to be, so you can point your camera in that direction and see if you can capture it. It'll give you all the information you need, apart from cloud cover. But that's up to you to work out from the weather forecast. As always, if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. And for weekly tutorials, hints and tips in photography and videography, subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next one.